Brew the coaches. Thanks, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew with the coaches. How do you handle hot races? Well, I'm hoping all this heat training, my goodness me, I'm hoping all this heat training pays off big time. But yeah, we've got Cape Wrath coming up, UTS, which is going to be a scorcher. You got Centurion, North Downs Way 50, almost 110 isn't far away, and the Skipton Skedaddle coming up, just to name a few. And the trails are going to be bone dry, depending on the course, no streams.
Well, I think the thing is with the streams now, like in Scotland, there's warnings not to drink from the streams, like around the West Highland Way. There's been reports of walkers getting really ill from drinking from the streams.
Okay.
So I'd be very wary about...
That's changed my race strategy for Saturday.
Using a filter. Well, I would definitely use a filter.
But yeah, also you might not have got on top of your heat training. So what can you do? Okay, you've got a roster of athletes who are probably doing all of these races.
I think planning is one of the biggest things. So first of all, you need to think about how you're going to carry enough fluid. I'm going to use UTS as an example of this, in that notoriously there has been a number of times when they've not had enough fluid on the course. So be prepared for that. I know it's like, but they should have enough water on the course, but historically they haven't had enough water. So be prepared to carry a bit more. And I would potentially even put a bladder in and have bottles at the front and put a bladder in as well. Just, I know the extra weight would then be like, I'm carrying that bit of extra weight, but I don't think you'd be sad about that. I think most of the races, the checkpoints are, they really think about the distance between them and stuff. But when it is really hot, I think have the ability to carry a little bit of extra fluid. Think about your electrolyte needs. Think about whether you're a heavy sweater, medium sweater, how much salt you're going to have. And even if you've got your electrolytes, I would have a safety little bag of salt tablets, just in case you get your electrolyte balance wrong. Yeah. If you've not done a race yet this year, or even, how many times have I passed people on a trail who are cramping? You can give them a couple of salt tabs and help them out. You can be that good citizen. The other thing that not just thinking about fluid and stuff, is that lots of people really suffer with nausea when it's hot and getting calories in. So think about your anti-nausea solutions as well. There's tablets that you can take. There's ginger you can carry, things like that. Just a little bit of thought, a little bit of planning. Make sure you know where the checkpoints are in the race. Think about the time it's going to take you between them. When you get to the checkpoints, in like maybe a winter race, or if conditions were a little bit cooler, you might quickly go through, top your bottles up, bish bash bosh, and out you go. But I think if it's hotter and you're arriving there dehydrated, taking an extra minute or so to making sure you've drunk enough before you get to the checkpoint, refilling your bottles, taking a big load of calories, fluid on. You might feel a bit as you leave the checkpoint, but really restocking, making sure you've got your supplies. And maybe if you are feeling a bit hot, just having a moment, put yourself in the shade for a minute and just let that heart rate go down a little bit. So spend some time looking at the course and don't get a shock when you're like, oh my God, it's 3 hours between these checkpoints. And don't forget, when you're looking between checkpoints, don't just look at the distance, look at the climbing. If you've got old race results as well, you can go back in there and kind of look at how long it takes people between checkpoints.
Like if you go on Strava, Garmin, you can see elevation profiles. I know from all county tops, yes, I probably should invest in a filter, but there's some good, solid water points. I can't remember even in the driest of years that they have been dry. But yeah, do some research on the course, because you make a fantastic point. You might be doing a mile uphill. All of a sudden, that's a 40-minute mile.
Think about your kit. Put your sun cream on a couple of hours, or even the night before. Start layering on the sun cream, because you will sweat it off as well. So what I often do if I'm doing a race is, as soon as I get up, I put my sun cream on, so it's got 2-3 hours to soak in, and put it on naked as well, so you don't miss any bits. You can get all your cracks and crevices. Hat is a lifesaver. A bucket hat, even better. Sunglasses, anything that can take away the sort of heat. Fool yourself into thinking that it's cooler than it is. I would definitely think about covering up your shoulders, maybe a t-shirt rather than a vest, especially if your shoulders haven't seen the sun yet. You don't want to be burning those, and you don't want any chaffing. Think about buff around your neck, buff around your wrist. Think about where you can cool yourself. You can get your buff in if there is a stream, or in the checkpoints you can dunk it in.
I read something about putting your wrists in the water. That's a good
wrists in the water is a great cooling place. So your key cooling places are your neck, your armpits, your wrists, and your groin, Gary. So if you ever want an excuse to put some ice cubes down your pants,
I don't need an excuse for that. But check the date on your sun cream. This popped up. Martin Lewis, he did a share. You spin the packet around or the sachet, and it's got a little picture of a bottle with the cap popped open. And basically, once your sun cream, you've opened it, you've got that amount of time before it. I'm not too sure if it completely becomes useless after, say, 12 months or 24 months, whatever the duration is for that product. But yeah, give that a check, because if you are, like, say, UTS, wow, you're going to be out there all day long in sun cream. So for the price of, when you add it all up, you might think, oh my goodness, it's expensive, whatever. When you add everything up, it is a drop in the ocean, and it could save your race.
You need to think about your fueling too. Now, we all know fueling when you're hot is harder than when it's a nice, cool, breezy day and you're jogging along. And why is it hotter? Well, heat affects the hypothalamus. So that's the part of your brain that regulates your body temperature and you're hungry. So when you're hot, your body goes, oh, I'm just going to actually, sorry, Gary, I'm going to work on cooling you down. I'm not actually going to work on your digestive system, which can not only make you feel like you're not hungry, but also can then upset your tummy and give you some GI distress as well. You're also filling your tummy with fluid if you're really thirsty, and electrolyte drinks, because you're like, I feel really thirsty, but you're just trying to get that salt balance right. So then your tummy's full and you don't feel as hungry. And then we're in a bit of a cycle, aren't we, of GI distress. And then the nausea might start as well, because your body is just on overdrive. So right from the beginning, try and get that balance right between. Lots of people prefer liquid calories when it's hot as well. They're easier to digest because then your body's not having to work the digestive process as well. So maybe think a little bit about that as well, that it might not be the day. Can you imagine? It might not be the day for cheese and pickle sandwiches. It might be the day.
Oh, wash your mouth out.
I think having I think having lots of options is good on a hot day, and not getting stressed if you feel, why am I not, just managing yourself, knowing, I don't feel hungry, I feel bloated. This is because I'm hot. Often, like, understanding that, it takes out the I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to ignore it and carry on running. Yeah. Right, this is what's happening. My brain is trying to cool me down, so I've got to look after my brain by carrying on fueling it. And even if that's just like, sweeties are the only thing I can have, Coke, things that are easy sugars. Yeah. Think about that.
Pick your times. I remember leaning back on some race experience that maybe would start in the morning or in the evening when it was cooler. You probably could eat your Vela Forte bars or your Precision Fuel and Hydration chews, but when that sun is beating down on you, that's not the time to be smashing some salt and vinegar crisps.
I could always smash salt and vinegar crisps.
I don't know. That's the gels and the drinks. That's the Coca-Cola time for me.
Oh, Coca-Cola. And finally, the sort of last thing, you just got to slow down. I mean, I think the people that are savvy with their pacing, nice, slow, steady start, totally in control, they're going to have a nicer day and they're going to be able to manage the problems. And if you go out at the pace, you swallow the ego a little bit and go, I know I want to run this time, I've been training for this race, but you're going to end up with heat stroking in the medical tent or a DNF, because your body is just not going to be able to go the pace it normally can. We know, put that heat suit on, half a degree hotter, and the perceived exertion is through the roof. So reset your goals to be like, this might not be the time that I want, but I bet half this field aren't going to finish, but I'm going to be one of those that manage myself and finish, because it's a horrible experience, heat stroke. So my last thing as well is, if you're in one of these hot races, enjoy it. You can get views, but look after each other as well. We talked a little bit about carrying salt tabs. If you go past somebody in distress, just have a quick look at them. Are they doing everything that they can? Offer them a salt tablet, a little sweetie perhaps. Make sure they are sitting in the shade. Do they need help? And then just check they're a Patreon and slowly move on.
Screen grab the podcast.
Is there anything that you would do, like, on top of that for Old County Tops if it's going to be a blisterer?
It's always been a blisterer, I think, at the Old County Tops. So,
and you've got very little shade. You are really exposed.
Zero shade. I think there's a tiny bit when you come off Helvellyn before you do the kind of long slog to Angleton. Zero shade, but everything, like you said, definitely probably should invest in a filter. So I'm going to be checking out Amazon later today. Salt tabs, great shout. You might not need them. I remember coming towards Cockley Beck and there was 2 athletes ahead of us, and luckily Robbo had some spares.
They can change someone's race. Can change someone's race. That if you and it's cramp is the worst. It's the worst, isn't it? I don't know.
Another book. I do like to rock a bucket cap too, and I look back at the photographs and cringe, but I'd prefer that than having my ears and neck burnt to a crisp.
Oh, if you're out there racing, well, it's a blessing to have this weather that we've got at the moment, but look after yourself. Good luck. Let us know how it goes.
But imagine how incredible that'll be. So you slow down a little bit. It's a baking hot day. You slow down a little bit and manage yourself so much better. And then that back end of the race, you're just slowly picking off these wounded soldiers.
Ça va? Ça va? Oh, cramp? Oh, just chucking your salt tabs.
Yeah.